We have previously discussed about the nodal analysis without a voltage source. Now let us discuss about the nodal analysis with a voltage source. So the difference between the nodal analysis without a voltage source and the nodal analysis with a voltage source is that in previous topic we didn't have any voltage sources present in the circuit. So in this topic we have a voltage source present in the circuit. Based on the type of circuit and the position of the voltage source, we have two different cases in this topic. So let us consider case 1. So in this case, as we can see in this circuit, in this case we will have the voltage source between the reference node and the non-reference node. In this circuit we can identify two nodes, this one and this. So let us consider any one of them as the reference node. Let us consider this node as the reference node, that is this node will be connected to earth, due to which its potential will be 0. So as the node here has 0 potential and there is no other component present in this branch, so the potential here will be 0 as well, and due to the same reason the potential here will be 0 as well. In the similar way, the potential here is 0 as there is no other electrical component in this branch, and the potential here will be 0 too, as there is no electrical component in this branch too. Here we can observe that this 2 volt voltage source is connected between the reference voltage or the reference node we can consider. So it's connected between the reference node and the non-reference node. So let us consider the voltage of this node as V. So here we can see this voltage source is connected between this reference node and the non-reference node, due to which the voltage of this non-reference node will be equal to the voltage of this voltage source. That is, we can write V equals 2 volts. So this is the first case of the nodal analysis with a voltage source. Now let us see the second case of nodal analysis with a voltage source. Now let us understand case 2 with the help of a problem. So here we are given with this circuit. Now if we observe keenly, we can identify a difference in case 1 and case 2. In case 1, the voltage source is between the reference node and the non-reference node. So that was the case 1, but here in case 2 we have the voltage source between both the non-reference nodes. So this is the only difference between case 1 and case 2. So in these situations, in these kind of situations, we call this whole thing as a super node. So to solve this super node, we need to know a concept called Kirchhoff's voltage law. So let us define what actually is Kirchhoff's voltage law. Kirchhoff's voltage law is based on principle of conservation of energy. So it states that the algebraic sum of all voltages, so the algebraic sum of all the voltages around a closed loop is equal to 0. So let us consider a circuit to understand this law better. So let us consider this circuit. A voltage source here, so this will be V4, V3. We know that resistors do have a voltage across them. So let us consider it as V2, and let us consider this voltage as V3. So in Kirchhoff's voltage law, we can consider the iteration or the direction of our iteration as clockwise or anti-clockwise. So in this case, we can consider both clockwise anti-clockwise. Here in this case, we will consider the iteration in anti-clockwise direction, and let the current through this circuit be I. So by using the KVL, if we write the equation for this circuit, then we should write it as minus V1 plus V2 plus V3 minus V4 plus V5 equals to 0. So we know that the KVL states that algebraic sum of all the voltages around a closed loop is equal to 0. So here we have all added all the voltages and equated it to 0, but we need to take a look at the signs before each the voltage sources. So as we are iterating in the anti-clockwise direction, if we start at V1, then we can see that the iteration is in this direction. So as the iteration is from higher potential to lower potential, so the value of V1 will be negative. In the same way, here at V3, the iteration will be in this direction. So as the iteration is from lower potential to higher potential, so the value of V3 will be positive. In the similar manner, here the iteration will be in this direction. So the iteration is going from higher potential to lower potential. So the value of potential, the value of voltage V4 will be negative 2. Here in the resistors, the iteration is in this direction. So here the potential is being increased, due to which the value of the potential here will be positive, and in the similar manner we get a positive value here too. So this is how this equation is being written. So this is negative and this is positive, this is negative, this is positive, this is positive. So on rearranging this equation, we obtain V1 minus V2 minus V3 plus V4 minus V5 equals 0. This is how we write an equation in the circuit using KVL. Now let us dive back to our problem to know how to solve the nodal analysis if we have a voltage source. So here we have a super node, so we need to apply the KVL rule here to obtain a relation between V2 and V3. So if we rearrange the circuit here, this will be V2. So I am rearranging this super node here. So this will be V2, V3, and this will be 6 volts. So by using KVL, we can write the relation between V2 and V3 as, so V2 plus, so here the potential is increasing, so it will have a value with positive sign. So this will be plus 6 equals V3. So let us consider this as the first equation, and as we have solved the circuit using KCL in the previous sections, we solve this circuit in the same manner. So let us identify the currents in the circuit. Let us consider this as I1, this as I2, and this as I3. So as the current I3 is entering from V2 towards V3, so there will be no change in the current in the series connection. So this will be I32, and let us consider this as I4. And here we can observe that there is no component connected between this junction and this junction. So basically, which means that these both are at same potential, that is, these both are same junctions. So we can write this as equal to V3. So, and let us consider the current through this through this junction as I5. Now by applying the KCL rule in this node 1 and node 2, like uh, at node 1, we know the KCL rule that sum of the currents entering or exiting out of the junction should be 0. So here we have currents I1, I2 and I3. So let us add them and let us equate them to 0. So I1 plus I2 plus I3 equal to 0. Before that we need to consider any of this node as a reference node. So let us consider this as a reference node, so due to which the potential here will be 0, the potential here will be 0, and the potential here will be 0 too. So here we can see that the current I1 is passing through the 4 ohm resistor and is terminating, is going through the 14 volts. As we know that this potential difference must be equal to this minus this, so this will be the 14 volts potential. So here we can rewrite the current I1 as V2 minus 14 divided by 4. Here we subtracted the 14 volts from V2 because we know that the current travels from higher potential to lower potential. So V2 must be at higher potential, which must have higher value. So we subtract the value 14 from V2. Here we obtain the value of I1. Similarly, if we take a look at the current I2, that is starting at the potential V2 and ends at the potential 0, passing through the resistor 3 ohms. So we can rewrite we can express I2 in terms of volts as V2 by 3. And if we take the current I3, we leave the current I3 as it is. We don't make any changes because our main aim is to eliminate this value, to eliminate the current passing through the super node, so that we obtain our required equation, we obtain our required answers. So we need to leave this current I3 as it is. Now if we take a look at current I4, then here the current I4 starts from potential V3, passes through 2 ohm resistor and ends at V equals to 0. So we can write the current I4 in terms of voltage as V3 minus 0 by 2. This is I4. And finally for I5, so here the current I5 is starting from the potential V3 and it is passing through the 6 ohm resistor here. As this voltage and this voltage are same, so it passes through the 6 ohm resistor and is being terminated at V equals to 0. So we can rewrite I5 as V3 minus 0 divided by 6. So here we obtain the values of I1, I2, I3, I4 and I5. So at node 1 we have this equation. So if you substitute I1, I2 and I3 from these three here, then we obtain the resultant equation as, so I1 is V2 minus 14 divided by 4, and the value of I2 is V2 by 3. So here the I2 is V2 by 3 plus we need to leave the value of I3 as it is, as the current I3 is passing through a super node. So let us consider this as equation 2, as we have already considered this as equation 1. So let us consider this as equation 2, and now let us write the value, the KCL equation at node 2. So here at node 2 the current I3 is entering the node, so it will have a negative value, and I4 and I5 are exiting the nodes, so these both will have the positive values. So if we write them here, it will be minus I3 plus I4 plus I5 equals 0. Now on, if we substitute the values of I4 and I5 in this equation, then we obtain the resultant equation as minus I3 plus, so the value of I4 is V3 by 2, so if we write here V3 by 2 plus we have the value of I5 as V3 by 6, so let us write it here, V3 by 6 is 0. Now let us consider this equation as equation 3. On adding equation 2 and equation 3, we can eliminate I3. So if we add equation 2 and equation 3, we will obtain I4 plus I5, that is V2 minus 14 by 4 plus V2 by 3, so V2 minus 14 by 4 plus V2 by 3, so plus V2 by 3, and here I3 will get cancelled as minus I3 and plus I3 is equating to 0, so these both will be cancelled and we are left with V3 by 2 plus V3 by 6. So we will write it here, V3 by 2 plus V3 by 6 equals to 0. Now if we take LCM and rearrange this equation, we will obtain the equation as 8V3 plus 7V2 minus 42 equating to 0. So consider this as equation 4. Now we have equation 1 as V2 plus 6 equals to V3. Let us write it down here. So V2 plus 6 equals to V3. Now if we rearrange this, V3 minus V2 equals to 6. So now we need to solve this equation and this equation to obtain the values of V3 and V2. So we use the substitution method here to solve this equation and this equation. So on multiplying this equation with 7, we obtain 7V3 minus 7V2 is 42, and we have equation 4 as 8V3 plus 7V2 minus 42 equals 0. So we write that equation here, 8V3 plus 7V2 equals to, so I'm sending this to the right hand side, it will be plus 42 equals to 0, plus 42. So on eliminating this V2 term, we are left with 15V3 equals to 84. Now the value of V3 will be 84 by 15, so which will be approximately 5.6, so 5.6 volts. So we have obtained the value of V3 as 5.6 volts. So let us write it here, V3 equals to 5.6 volts. Now on substituting this value in equation 1, which is V3 equal to V2 plus 6. Now on substituting V3 as 5.6 in this equation, we obtain the value of V2 as minus 0.4 volts. So in this way we can solve the circuits having voltage sources and find find the values of potential, the values of current, and any value that we are required to find. So these are the two cases that exist in nodal analysis with a voltage source.